Welcome to episode 3 of More Disney. My name is Michael Babcock. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content if you like what you see. This show is a more in-depth look at certain topics about the Disney theme parks. So this time I want to do an episode that is probably going to be a little bit touchy, but I think that it needs to be discussed more in depth. I am, of course, talking about guest incidences at the theme parks. So, look, before COVID happened and before all of this other mess, we had never heard of, I had, speaking for myself, I had never heard of guest instances before where people were hitting each other, where people were cursing at each other, were punching people, yelling at cast members, yelling at the characters. I had never heard of that before. So when this started happening, it really kind of opened my eyes to what was going on around the world. So after I'm going to break some of this down. A lot of people may think that this is there are significant factors to this. One scenario is, COVID, where, a lot of people were stuck inside their homes for a long time. So they're more on edge. Another reason is the rising costs of a Disney vacation, and people want to be treated like royalty nowadays, because they're like, look, I'm giving you thousands and thousands of dollars for my vacation, and I expect to be treated like royalty. I expect to be treated better than anybody else. Okay? Which is another possibility. Okay? And a third option is people are just some people are just rude and nasty and mean. Okay? So let's go over the first scenario. I think that ever since COVID happened, I think that depending on what state you lived in, or what your general health was like, depending on your circumstances, certain people could have been isolated for a long time, months. Okay, so that could, that's a possibility. But I mean, look, we pre-COVID, we lived in a society that was, as far as I know, on the rare occasion, maybe not, but we lived in a world where people followed the rules. People were, respectful to one another. People were respectful to the cast members and other guests. So pre-COVID, I think that was, I think that was, obviously that was the way it was supposed to be. And then I think, scenario one, coming out of COVID, people were isolated for so long that they are pissed off and angry at the world, and so they want to make everybody else feel the way that they do. Okay, which is, a shame, but that's certainly a possibility. It's people that were isolated for so long feel like the world's against them, and they think that everybody's out to get them, so they're angry and pissed off at the world because that's just the way that they feel. So that's why that they yell at everybody, because that's just the way that they feel. So I can tell you that, again, myself working in the customer service industry myself, it has definitely gotten worse. People have gotten worse since COVID. I think that people are, coming out of COVID, people are just too high strung. They're all, they think that everybody's out to get them, and it's very, very saddening. It's very saddening. Okay. Scenario number two is probably the one I lean more toward. I think people nowadays expect to be treated like royalty. Like I'm paying you all this money, so I expect you to treat me like, I'm royalty because I'm paying your salary. Okay? And I think that's very wrong. That is very, very wrong. It's, things have gotten more expensive. Things have gotten more expensive just over in the, in the last, 5 years, but, people, I think that people nowadays think that, now that I have all this money and you don't, so I can now treat you like garbage. I can treat you like garbage, okay? Because I have the money and you don't. So that gives me the right to treat you like garbage. And that's not the way. That is not the way. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but that does not happen. That does not happen. Just because you make more money than I do does not mean that you are better than me. It doesn't, okay? I don't know where that where that thinking comes from, but it's very, very saddening. Very, very saddening to think that people think nowadays, well, I have more money than you do, so I can treat you like crap, okay? And treating these cast members like they're nobodies, I make more money than you do, so that gives me the right to treat you like garbage, okay? So I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. I think that that's totally, idiotic for some people to do that. It's absolutely outrageous. It's if you make more money than I do, that's good for you, but that does not give you the right to treat me and other people like crap. Okay? So I don't know where that thinking came from again, but ever since post COVID, I think people now, and the high cost of everything and the cost of living that keeps going up and up and up, I think that a lot of people expect to be treated like royalty nowadays, and I really think that is wrong. That is wrong, because I am not better than you. You are not better than me, okay? Nobody is better than anybody else, okay? So I don't know where that comes from. I don't know what happened, but I think that it, we, somewhere along the line, people have gotten that idea, and I think that's really sad. That is really, really sad. And then option number 3 is just and I don't want to bring this into the conversation because I don't, but, I think overall our political climate nowadays, I think that a lot of people, I think their mindset is, well, my president told me that I can treat you like shit, okay? And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. My president has told me that I can treat you like shit, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm sorry, but that's not right either. That is wrong, okay? Just because a president of the United States says, you should go out and shoot somebody, or you can go out and start riots and start fights, does not mean you should do that. That does not mean you should do that. And if that's what you're going to do, then don't come to Walt Disney World. Do not come to Walt Disney World and start fights and, and just, treat people like they're nobodies. Because I really think that's wrong. Okay? I cannot tell you how many stories I have either read or I've reported on of guest behavior, just the overall rudeness of guests nowadays. I think, I think that, it's really, really saddening. It is really saddening to see that happen in our world nowadays. Because I truly think that the people of this world are compassionate people that are good hearted. Okay, I don't believe that we are, as a country, angry, megalomaniacal people that, think only of ourselves and, want everybody to treat them like they're better than everybody else. I don't believe in that. I really don't, okay? That has been going on ever since 2020. And I really think that's a shame. I really think that's a shame. My last news show, I reported on, what was it? Three guest instances. I had 4, but I only read about 3 because it was just it was going to be a downer of a show. So I just don't know where that came from. Where people are so high strung these days that they feel the need to go out into the world and treat people like garbage, okay? Because that's not right. That is not right, okay? I, you know, I think, you know, I don't want to be that guy that sits here and blames this on COVID and everything. But, you know, I truly believe that, you know, this pandemic, you know, when we came out of this pandemic, we were angry. You know, people were angry and pissed off at the world. And, you know, they used COVID and our current president as an excuse to basically say, you know, now I have the right to go out into the world and treat everybody like shit, okay? And I really, it's really disheartening to see, even, you know, because this is Disney, and I'm just going over the instances here at Walt Disney World. I don't go over the instances at Disneyland, okay? Disneyland is a totally different thing, okay? The reason why I don't report on Disneyland is because I don't live there, so I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't. I mean, I can report on certain things at Disneyland, but Disneyland is not where, you know, California is not where I live. That's not where I live. I live here in Florida, okay? So that's why I tend to, you know, talk about guest instances here, because they happen more here than they do at Disneyland, which, you know, again, is a sign of the tourists, and, you know, they think, you know, time is money, you know, that's, they want to come here, they want to do everything that they can, because they're once in a lifetime people that come once, they will never come back, and they want to do and see everything at Walt Disney World, which you can't do. You can't do, okay? Walt Disney World is twice the size of Manhattan, okay? So there's four theme parks, 2 water parks, multiple golf places and mini golf places, and then of course you have Disney Springs, you have the hotels, you know, so you can't do everything in one visit. You just can't. There is no way on earth that you're going to be able to do everything in one visit in 1 week, which I assume that they're staying 1 week. Okay? So, you know, I think that people just need to learn how to calm down and relax, and you know, just I think and I think, you know, partly, you know, that's part, you know, and it's not just the people. It's not just the people. It's also Disney's fault. It's also Disney's fault for, you know, raising prices on everything, introducing paid lightning lanes, introducing, you know, paid perks that were once free, because they want more money. You know, they want to bleed the customers dry. So it's not just the guests' fault. It's also Disney's fault. So they created the monster that we're fighting. Okay? You know, it's half Disney's fault and half people's fault. You know, but people are just acting because of the way that Disney has now decided to treat them. Okay? Which is, you know, hey, you know, give us a couple more $100,000 and, you know, you can have, you know, free fast passes, or you can have, you know, or you know, you can have, you know, these these groups that take you around, and will treat you like, will treat you really, really good. So I think that, and again, speaking on Disney's side, when Bob Chapek came into the picture and took away all of the free stuff like the Magical Express, that went away. Free fast passes, that went away. Resort parking, that free resort parking, that went away. And of course the entertainment during COVID went away. I think all of that stuff that went away, it made a lot of people, kind of, second guess what was going on here at Disney. Okay, it really kind of, made people, now they have to think harder and, stretch their budgets out more and, pay for more things that were once free. So it's, again, it's not just the people's fault. It's not, okay? It's also Disney's fault for, allowing this to happen, okay? So I don't blame all of the blame on the guests. I really think that it's half and half. It's half the guests' fault and half Disney's fault. Okay, so it's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of both. It is sad because Disney. I don't want to go off on a rant and say Disney was once this great company that, blah 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 and everything, because Disney is still a great company in my opinion. Okay, they're still a great company in my opinion. Okay, but I think them coming out of, I think with them in the Chapek years and Bob Chapek, kind of nickel and diming, the guests. And now they're coming out of that Bob Chapek era, and, Disney's still kind of not letting go of, that, obviously they've gotten a taste of that, the lightning lane money. So, that's never gonna change, the days of free fast passes, that's gone. Okay. People whine about that every day. Okay. I miss it too. I really do. But those days are gone. Those days are long gone, and they are not coming back. They are not coming back because Disney has they've found another way to suck more money out of people that says, hey, if you pay us more money, you can skip these lines. Okay? With this multi-pass, okay? So, and the multi-pass is frustrating. It is frustrating because you're not going to get the top tier rides that you want a lot of the times. Rides like Rise of the Resistance, which you have to pay extra for. You're not going to get that every time. Flight of Passage, you have to pay extra for. You're not going to get all the time. Okay, so I think that, and Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think you still have to pay extra for. Again, you're not going to get all the time. So this cheaper lightning lane option is not all that great. It's not all that great. Okay, now the more expensive lightning lane option is, on the one hand, it's good. On the other hand, it's obviously bad. On one hand, it's, for the vacationers that only come once in a lifetime. They pay all this money, and then they can ride every single ride in the park with no strings attached. Okay? And that sets them in the mind of, well, now I can be treated like, now I am better than everybody else. I am better than everybody else because I paid for this really expensive Lightning Lane option, and so I can ride every single ride in the park. So I'm better than the multi-pass Lightning Lane people, and I'm certainly better than the standby people. Because now I am at the top. I am at the top. Okay, so I truly think that was another mistake, for Disney to charge more money, and people are gonna pay it. People are gonna pay it. They're going to. Okay, just because we sit here, and we say Lightning Lane is a scam and don't pay and don't buy it, people from other states, other countries, they're going to buy it. They are going to buy it because they look at it as, this is my once in a lifetime trip. I want to do everything that I can in these parks, and this is going to allow me to do that. Okay? And then, of course, when a ride breaks down, then they expect to be, then they expect, Disney to, fix it right away. And, they say, look, I've paid, a lot of money for this Lightning Lane option, and you better damn well treat me like I am the greatest guest you have ever had in your life. Okay? And if a ride goes down, then shame on you, Disney. Shame on you. I am blaming you for that. And you can't blame Disney for that. You can't. These rides are technological marvels. They are going to break down. They are going to break down, okay? It's just going to happen, okay? So, just because you get this, better Lightning Lane option, and you expect, to be treated like royalty and, get on every single ride, and then that ride breaks down, and then you throw a hissy fit, and, and then you go off and, beat up, other park goers or cast members or everything. That's not going to get you any merits. That's not going to get you any merits. All that's going to get you is a one-way ticket out of there. Because you're going to get banned. You are going to get banned from those parks. Okay? Which I totally agree with. I totally agree with, look, if you lay your hands on somebody, you have crossed that line. You have crossed that line and there is no going back. And I think, the harshest punishment possible. Okay? So I really, applaud Disney for that. At Publix, if, people, lay their hands on us, we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it. All we do is like, well, have a nice day. Sorry, but, sorry that happened. Here's, a free such and such. Come back anytime. So, that's wrong. But that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to talk about Publix and their policies. I'm here to talk about, Disney's policies and everything. But I think that Disney has created, the monster. And I think that the monster is let loose now. And I think that, it's again, it's not all the guests' fault. It's not all the guests' fault. I blame half of the guest, and then half of the blame I put on Disney. Disney created the monster that guests are now that the guests are, Disney fueled the fire. during COVID, it was like, people were angry and pissed off, and just because of this pandemic and everything. And then once Disney came out and said, we're going to upcharge you for everything, and we're going to upcharge you for this, and this, and then guests got more irate and more irritated, and when something goes wrong, they immediately snap, and then they turn on everybody. So it's two sides of it's two things that merged together to create one giant monster. Okay, so I don't blame, I don't put all of the blame on the guests, and I don't put all of the blame on Disney. I blame both sides. Both sides are responsible. Okay, so I think that's I really hope that again, I really hope that sometime down the road we can start treating people with dignity and respect again. I just don't know. I just don't know, though, nowadays. It's in a world where so much has happened with the political climate and everything else with the pandemic and everything. Is it too late to go back to the way things were? I don't know. I don't know that. I really don't know. I want to be the optimist that says, we can change. We can absolutely change. We can go back to the way it was, pre-COVID, where everybody was treating everybody with respect and dignity, and people were having a great time on their vacations, and I don't want to be the, gloomy Eeyore that, that says, those days are gone. Those days are gone, and the guests coming in nowadays are ruthless, angry, mad people that will do anything to make sure that they have the perfect vacation. So, I don't know what the answer is. I don't even know if there is an answer. Okay? I could sit here all day and talk about, how bad people have gotten, but at the end of the day, people have to change their way of thinking. Okay? And if they're not going to change their way of thinking, then this is going to continue to happen. This will continue to happen until, the earth ends. Okay? So I don't know. I really do not know. But I think both sides are to blame, and, one side is not innocent than the other. I think both sides are to blame. But, let me know let me know what you think. Do you think that, it's all of Disney's fault for doing this, or do you think that, do you think that the guests have gotten worse, or do you think that it's both equal? It's both equal. I'm interested to see what you guys think about this topic, because obviously my opinion's going to be different than your opinion. Okay. So, whenever I have to talk about topics like this, I have to remove myself from this conversation, because I am not a regular guest. I'm not a regular guest that spends thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on a vacation to the Walt Disney World Resort. Okay? I'm not that person. Okay? I'm an annual pass holder that pays once a year, and I can go anytime, as long as I'm not blocked out. You know, I can go anytime. I'm not pressured to do anything that I don't want to. I can go to the parks, you know, at any time, ride a couple rides, you know, do a couple shows, eat some dinner, you know, then I can go home. You know, I'm not pressured to get there right at rope drop and make sure, you know, I'm running around and doing everything. And, and of course that's going to stress people out. That is going to stress people out. Okay? So, but, I mean, you know, speaking for myself, that's, you know, I have to remove myself and look at this from a normal guest's perspective. Okay? So, it's, you know, but I think that both sides are to blame. Both sides are to blame. One side is not more innocent than the other. But I'm interested to know what you folks think. You know, I'm interested to see, you know, what you think. But, you know, if I will say this though. I will say this, okay? If people are going to act this way, then do not come to Walt Disney World, or do not come to Disneyland, or the other, you know, Disney or Universal theme parks, because they're not for you. If that's what you're going to do, then don't come. Don't come and start fights and, you know, hitting cast members, hitting other guests. Just don't do that. Don't do that, because all that's going to do is land you in legal trouble, and it's going to get you banned from every single Disney theme park. Okay? Because when you get banned, they take a picture, and then, you know, every single Disney resort around the world has that picture, because they email it to all of the other resorts. And they're like, hey, just so you know, do not let this person in because they are banned. Okay? So, you know, do not do that. Okay? But, but again, I am interested to hear what you guys have to say about this. Maybe, you know, but me being the eternal optimist, I think things can get better. Things can get better. Okay? It's just, you know, it's just the way, you know, it's just how people want to treat other people. Okay? But I think that things can get better, and I think that I truly believe that things can go back to, you know, the way that they were. You know, look, Disney is always going to be Disney. They're the mega corporation that's going to suck you dry. Okay? They just are. Okay? They're after your money. Okay? They're a business. They're after your money. But it's us as guests, you know, how we act, you know, that's going to impact other people's lives. Okay? So just, you know, please keep that in mind. Please keep that in mind. If this message, if this message gets to one person, you know, one person can make a difference. One person can make a difference, and it will inspire other people. Okay? It will inspire other people to do the same. All right? So, I want to thank you guys very much for watching this video. This is, I know this has been a dark topic, it's a little bit of a touchy topic, you know, certain things I don't really feel, you know, comfortable to talk about, you know, on you know, bringing certain topics into a Disney conversation, like politics and you know, the COVID-19 pandemic and everything. But I truly, I just want it to be known. I just want it to be known, and, you know, hopefully sometime down the road that, you know, people will realize that you know, things can get better. Things can get better, and things should continue to get better, okay? So, but that's just the way I am, the eternal optimist, okay? So, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel for more content. A little bit shorter episode than the other episodes. I didn't want to spend all of my time, you know, ranting about all of guest behaviors and such. I just wanted to, you know, talk about this and maybe get your take, get your take on how you feel, okay? You know, let me know how you feel, okay? If you've ever witnessed guest incidences, you know, it's just best to you know, walk away, don't get involved. I can't tell you how many stories I read where people just get involved, and that only makes things worse, okay? It just makes things worse. So, but again, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel for more content. Thank you guys very much for watching episode 3 of my new show. Episode 4 will be coming out soon. Still trying to figure out what that topic's gonna be, but maybe in the next coming days I can pinpoint that and figure out what that's gonna be. So, but thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. You folks keep each other safe and healthy. You know, thank you for you know, joining in on the conversation. You know, we all can make a difference. We all can make a difference. So thank you very much. Guys, have a great rest of your night, your rest of your day, your evening. You guys keep each other safe and healthy, and we will see you real soon.